Well, hi there folks, it's Matt Hayson here looking at this week's property market. Now we're consistently asked the question, is now the right time to buy? Is it the right time to sell? Should I wait? Should I hold? What impact are rising interest rates going to have on property values later this year? Now when it comes to buying or selling, it's not really a black and white answer. In fact, it's a very complex answer that really comes down to the needs of the individual and their movements. But what we can tell you is this is what's unfolding at the coalface of the market. There is no question, prices are leveling off across the market. We're also seeing a winding back of that FOMO that was evident through the course of the market of much of last year. But there's always going to be outliers. There's those blue chip properties which are always sought after. They're in the best streets, they've got the right layout, the right aspect, the right level of renovation. They're the ones that most of the market know that when these properties come online, that you've really got to pin your ears back and go for those properties. Now there is evidence that there's still price growth for that particular sector of the market, particularly at the high end of the market. But on the flip side of that, there's also those properties which are on the less sought after streets. They've got a weaker aspect, the wrong layout, or those properties as a buyer you look at and you just don't understand how you can add value. Now there's some evidence that there is some price resistance for those particular properties. Now that said, across the broader market though, we are seeing it leveling off and far more balance between buyer and seller. And that's also starting to come through on the data as well. We can see here with CoreLogic's rolling 4-week review of national property values for each capital city, and we've seen here a decline, very marginal for Sydney, but the first time it's happened since October 2020, just down by 0.1%. Now this is not uncommon when we're seeing far more volume coming onto the market, and that's being matched by a more conservative or cautious buyer pool. But we can say this, that the price watermark that we're dealing with and those prices that we're achieving in the market at the moment probably reflect what we were achieving back in September last year. And that's not bad if you're a seller, because that still reflects some of the highest prices ever achieved in Sydney's property history. In fact, when we look at the data of last year's property growth, that lands at number 5 as a percentage growth in property values in Australia's property history. Now, also leveling off around the market is the auction clearance rate. Over the course of last week, that landed at 59.9%. And we're also seeing pretty good volumes going through the auction market as well. But over the last several weeks, we've seen that auction clearance rate finding its sweet spot, sitting at around either side of 60%. So boiling all of this down, is now the right time to buy, wait, sell, hold? What is the right decision? Well, market conditions are this. We know they're stable between buyers and sellers. We also know that buyers are absorbing all of this hype conversation around lifting interest rates. So that's a good positive sign for the market moving forward. That said, whether or not you're buying or selling, you should be doing it for the right reason. And in our view, and it's magnified in this current market, you need to be improving your lifestyle from the current one you're enjoying. That's a key reason to make a move in the current market. Also, if you're a buyer that's a little bit more patient, that you're looking for that unique or one-off asset, you should still be looking quite closely at the market, but you can afford to be a little bit more patient. Certainly that there's no sign that prices are increasing exponentially or no buyer FOMO. So you don't need to go out there and rush in just to get onto the property ladder. That said, when that right home does become available, we would still suggest that it's important to move forward and secure that property, improve your lifestyle, because we all know finding that right home in the market can be quite tricky. Some buyers are looking for in excess of 12 months. And also trying to identify or pick the highs and lows of the market is fraught with danger, and you don't want to miss up an opportunity. So that leads us into this weekend, folks, where we've got some amazing properties going under the hammer. We've got some great properties that have just come to market and open for inspection for the first time. And our entire team looks forward to seeing you out and about. Thanks for watching. Catch you all next time.